How you doing, YouTube? Matt Mess of Beer Reviews back with yet another review and a little bit of semi-local beer. Not so much anymore, but it used to be in the form of Beer Tree Brewing. It is their Into the Forest Double New England IPA. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had Beer Tree stuff. They're just north of Binghamton, or northeast technically, Port Crane, New York. And that was about 45 minutes or so from where I used to live in northeastern Pennsylvania. But now I live in Jersey, a little bit further away, harder for me to get out there. But they kind of reached out the other day and said, "Hey, man, can we toss some beers in the mail?" And I said, "Duh." And here we are. So I got 4 GNs from them. One's a collab with Mortalis, actually. So I'll be jumping into a bunch of these. Probably post these all around the same time. Anyway, let's dive into the sucker. What does it say? Beer Tree Brew Co. Into the Forest Double New England IPA. Not New England style, Double New England IPA. 7.9% alcohol by volume. Beer with roots. And that pretty much is it. This was canned 1/16/19. This is the 27th, so just over 10 days old. And that's a pretty cool label, to be perfectly honest with you. This is actually, I believe this is my first Beer Tree can, actually. All the other stuff I've done from them has pretty much been crowlers, I believe. So that's kind of fun. So I dig the label, though. So let's see what she's got. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer, to see a brewery like that open up, start making beers like this, and then I have to move away. But such is life. On the greater and finer things, at least in my life, marrying the most awesome woman in history of mankind. Second, tied for first. Let's put it that way. Mom, got a little bum too. So what do we have here? Pinky finger just underneath of kind of just a soft off-white head, super tight, compact bubbles, and she's got that haze, baby. I mean, she talked about being a New England IPA. She's got that in spades, that rich kind of orange core. It's a little bit darker than what you'd expect from most kind of New England-style double IPAs. Just a slight little cataracty edge to her, so she definitely looks the part of a big old New England-style hazy. Let's see what the nose has. It's kind of got a big crackly kind of vibrance to it. Yeah, that's stone fruits, those peaches, baby. A hefty dose of melon, a nice kind of dose of peachiness. You still get the kind of citrus component. It comes off non-rindy, kind of a little bit Sunny D-like. But yeah, first thing I got hit with was not an overt kind of peachiness, but more of just a generic kind of stone fruit. And then you get that melon on one side and that kind of citrus on the other. I like it. There's a nice sweetness to it. There's not much of a bitterness to it, so I'm assuming this is true to style, kind of drop out all bitterness style kind of a New England IPA. Yeah, not really much as far as any bitterness at all in there, but it's got a nice sweetness to it, nice fruit component. It's very, very fruit forward. That's not a bad thing. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, that's a good beer. Yeah, I mean, there is a bittering component to the taste. It's a hot pellet green, slightly airing towards a little bit of tomato stockiness. But the fruit is the star of the show here. I was talking about all kinds of stone fruit vibes in the nose, but I'd probably lean a little bit more tropical, a little bit more melon vibes in the actual taste, with a little bit of stone fruit and a little bit of citrus on the other end of things. Really nice, really soft, really creamy mouthfeel to her. There's a nice dryness to that yeast too. Kind of makes you want to go back for a little bit more. It's nice. Fruit portion leads to the show here. Talking about a big fruit forward beer. Like I said, a little bit different than what the nose would tell you, but it's just as vibrant and just as expressive. And with that, it's kind of melon and tropical fruit leading away, along with a nice dose of that stone fruit and the citrus. None of it coming off overtly bittering. You just get that from that green hot pellet vibe on one end. Oh, I don't want to say just enough bittering to balance everything off. It's a little bit bigger than that, but like I said, it's airing towards that tomato stockiness. Really nice. Adds an extra depth of flavor to the beer that I think is welcome. I like them devoid of all bitterness beers. I can get down with them, but I prefer stuff kind of more like this, wrapped up in a really nice, sultry and silky mouthfeel. Yeah, this is a fucking tasty beer. Let's put it this way. I like the beers that I had from Beer Tree when I was up there. But I felt like there was some work to be done. Well, work has been done. That was kind of my thing, where I think that's pretty much where I left it off last. And this is pretty damn good stuff. This is up there with some of the better New England style IPAs that I've had. definitely in the region, if not a little bit beyond. I mean, it's way better. Way better. Not that the beers were bad back then, but it's way better. Way more cohesive, way more fleshed out, way more depth, way more, you can tell there's, they've learned. Is that the word I'm looking for? Not really. I was trying to say something a little bit nicer than that, but we can use that word. Yeah, they've just been going at it and learned different kind of tips and tricks and all kinds of bits and bobbles that end up being a pretty damn tasty New England style IPA, to be perfectly honest with you. I dig this. I dig this quite a bit. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better New England style double IPAs I've had as well? Actually, yeah, it's definitely in the conversation. Might not be up tippy top, but it's definitely worth being in the conversation, eking towards that top rung. Value and availability, no idea. Like I said, it was sent to me, but I mean, $16, $18 for 4 bags is my guess, because that's pretty much what everybody charges. I believe some of their stuff trickles out in the kind of Binghamton-ish area, but for the most part, brewery only, and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like New England style IPA, man, it doesn't taste like Treehouse, doesn't taste like Trillium, it tastes like its own beer, but it has that level of kind of deliciousness to it. Like I said, there has been better ones for me that I've had over the past several months, but this is definitely nothing to shake a stick at. What does that even mean, shake a stick at? Anyway, there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little beer with roots right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.